Hello, everybody. Oh. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Queer Games Heck Yeah. I don't know how loud that is. I'm trying to be better at my audio levels. I'm trying not to start every stream with like an apology or an explanation about why it's not the best stream in the universe. Well, the search for utopia continues. How are you all? I'm good. I'm Luke Miller. I'm a game dev. I'm working on a little space sim called Liberation. But in my downtime, I thought I would play through some games from this year's Queer Games Bundle, which is a fabulous event on itch, which is happening in June and a little bit of July, where you can just throw a few dollars and get a massive collection of wonderful art from people around the world and support the community, the queer community. Today we're playing a game called Wormgrubber. I'm just going to turn the volume down in my headphones a little bit. There we go. I know nothing about it. I love to go into these great games cold and be surprised. So if you don't like surprises, please look away. Although something that has already grabbed me about this game is this sort of the person or the devs are quite lyrical. Wormgrubber is a really great title. It's really lovely to say it out loud, actually. Wormgrubber. Wormgrubber. And also, as I was typing in like the link to where the game is, normally, because it's like an itch link, it just kind of washes over you. But this one is thursdayrain. And I think that's just a really nice little phrase. Like a little kind of like a little poetry in 2 words. Very nice. So that's my initial impressions. I'm trying to like tease out a lot from very little, I admit. But I'm getting a little sort of like lyrical poetry vibe off this game. And the art is certainly unusual in a good way. Once again, the color palette is just really good. Let's start. And dithering. If you've watched previous episodes of Queer Games Heck Yeah, you'll know that like dithering is like my one weakness. Let's start. Oh, but then something I don't like is when it's a picture of a street with a filter over it. Something about this game is that it's very small resolution, so I don't know how old that means. Like sometimes you get really old games that are very small, but obviously if it's for Jam or if they're going for a Game Boy sort of aesthetic or something, you'll often find small res because it's square as well, which is why it's sort of squarish on the screen. In the shadows lurks a vampire. I'm not sure about this font with this art, really. I feel because I came out so pro it in the first minute that I now have to like walk it back and just sort of see what, like, try to look for things that like maybe don't mesh as well. Denizen of the night, cursed with undeath. She stalks the dark streets in search of prey. Excuse me. An unlucky soul, out too late, shuffling home from the pub, or perhaps a window. Accidentally left unlocked. Oh, right, we're after sunset. Oh, These monsters rule the night. A predator above all others, feared and loathed by mankind. They shun the light and all that is holy. Ultimately, no one is safe from this mysterious villain. My voice has literally decided to start crackling, like right at the start of this stream. I'm just going to mute it for a second. Alright, let's keep going. But we may have to end it early, depending on how the voice goes. Because even if the mind is willing, if the voice just doesn't want to do it, We just can't do it. The Dangerous Vampire, Mollicent M. Milligral. Oh, I know we should be scared, but also I'm not very scared. Oh, I love that dithering effect. I guess because it. I guess because I like dithering because it speaks to me of like how art or art techniques or art styles um, they don't need to be grounded in like reality to work to be good. I guess I'm not quite expressing that very well, but it's just kind of like you see how it goes from like dark to light. You could just use like dark and then lighter, lighter, lighter colors until you get to the light you want. Um, which is, I guess, how you would sort of achieve that effect in real life, or you'd use lighting in real life, you know. But here, just through just a clever combination of like dots, you get that effect. I just think that's, I don't know, I'm just really impressed by that conceptually, that whole idea of creating something through other techniques. I just really love that whole idea. And to me, dithering, it represents that. So I'm always happy to see it. Not exactly. I am a vampire. Oh, that's so clever. Taking issue when with the narration when I was a girl. The kind with flowing blood inside, I mean. I used to read anything I could about them. I never fit in, as far back as I can remember, and I guess that just led me to slip deeper into my fantasies. According to the church-sponsored vampire hunters, they were nothing but evil beings. Demon-animated flesh that rejected death and consumed the innocent to survive. According to my novels, however, the idea of a mysterious, brooding villain is too romantic a concept to resist. I idolized them, and fantasized endlessly about what it would be like if one crept into my room one night to turn me. After whatever torments the day brought me, I took comfort in these dreams and did silly things like leave my window open, drifting off to thoughts about what unlife would be like. The vampires of my stories were charming and elegant villains, wealthy, intelligent counts, terrifyingly beautiful noblewomen, passionate, aggressive, seductive, all luring in helpless, beautiful maidens. Or, maiden boys. Then, well, it's hilarious art. Well, things didn't really end up like I hoped, I guess. As it turns out, reality isn't as convenient as fantasy. For example, the vampiric curse of undeath, among other things, permanently aligns its bearer with an animal aspect. These animals are all deeply associated with darkness. Bats are the most well known, but this includes other things like spiders, owls, stuff like that. Not wolves or moths, though. Those are too linked to moonlight. The vampires in my books, the ones everyone has read about, have bat aspects. They can shapeshift into them, fly around and sneak into homes unnoticed, drinking up as much helpless virgin blood as they want. My animal aspect? Ooh, I want to guess. Something of the night, but it's kind of like not very scary. I'm going to say a possum? Or a patamelon? Or a wombat. My animal aspect is the mole. Oh dear. I mean, I'm sure moles are pretty cool. Most nights I'm out looking for something to eat. It's actually more work than you think. I don't need to feed every night or anything, but grumble, grumble. So it's almost like I almost want to say that this character is actually a 3D character that's been down rendered to 2D. Um, just something about something in that vibe I'm getting. But it's quite well done. Maybe some sort of character posing program. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know how it's made because I think the effect works. If that is indeed the effect. In my case, this is my home, sort of. Lair, I guess? It's just a cave. I found it a while back, after, well, the vampire that turned me into one, my sire, didn't exactly have a place I could stay at. So here I am, in my cave, my mole cave. It's comfier than it looks. I mostly just kind of hang around here to sleep, but also I have a roommate of sorts. Tenny. Molly, you're back. How was tonight's hunt? Great actually, it went great. I feel great. Energized. As always, you look positively grim. Well, sure, you know me. Apex predator. Blah. That's so awesome. You could put that on a t-shirt. I think it would sell. Tenny. Yeah. I've been eagerly awaiting your return, you know. We have so much to do, so much to prepare for. You have made wonderful progress so far, but I need you to stay focused. Oh yeah, of course. You were deciphering those fragments? The somber tablet? Yeah. Oh, so there's a bit of a mystery. Okay. Yeah, somber tablet. Did you learn anything new? Indeed. The scripture is full of wisdom. In the first place, it describes the surest way to attain inner peace in spite of all the world's myriad troubles, and, sorry, I meant, about the next part of the ritual preparations. Yes, of course. Preparation is paramount, thank you. Come with me. This is Molly. Molly's just sort of... Not Molly, Oh, there we go, yeah. I was about to say they're going to introduce Tenny. This is Tenberus' daughter, Shard of Darkness, the Abyssal Consort, the Stygian successor? Stygian. Is that the river of the dead? No, that's the river Styx. Oh, but I reckon it's related, maybe. I just call her Tenny. I can never remember all of her titles. She's some kind of shadow god or something. She sure acts like it. She can be a bit princessy at times. But once you get past the pushiness, she's actually really nice. I thought she was a ghost at first, actually. She's pretty cool though. This place is filled with traces of the temple, and there's murals depicting her. She looks a lot scarier in those. Her cult died out a while ago, actually. Judging by the state of the tablets and artifacts lying around, a long while ago. Since I've been here, I've never heard her mention anyone else coming around. I think I might be the first person she's been in contact with since then. According to her, the vampiric curse of undeath actually came from around that time period. It's very interesting. Something about her cult being punished by some other god? Or something. It's a bit confusing. A lot of what Tenny talks about when she goes back that far feels more like allegory or mythology. Allegory? I'm not sure how much of it literally happened. As soon as I showed up and got over the whole ghost thing, she immediately took me on as an acolyte and started bossing me around. I'm okay with that. I don't do well with people. Vampires aren't really that sociable. I played Cold with the Lamb the other day. That's it, that's the end of the story. No, I just love the idea of like... there's something, I think, inherently funny about a god who is fallen on hard times. There was Terry Pratchett wrote a really good one in the 80s called Small Gods, or maybe the 90s. It's like this mighty god who at one point was like vengeful and cruel, has lost all their followers, and now they've just got like one follower left, and so they have the power of like a cockroach, because the power comes from the number of followers. And Cold Lamb's a bit like that too. You've got this, you're the sheep, and you've got to collect followers. It's very cute, but very dark. And I like the idea that, like, sure, Tenny now, she's just really adorable, but, can a leopard change its spots? It's just bats and miscellaneous cave critters around here. Tenny is my only friend. Since I was turned, she's the only one I've been able to really talk to comfortably. Aside from my sire, I guess, but anyway. As a shadow spirit, she can't really interact with the world directly, and is stuck in this cave. She needs a pair of corporeal hands to help her sort out all this cult stuff, and I enjoy her company. I'm happy to help her out with whatever she needs. I love her. This is a great pairing. This is a great duo. This area has I don't know how to say it in a way you'd understand. It's got an aura to it. I don't know if you can feel it, but there's a pull. If you concentrate, you will surely feel it. I'm most certain there is something important under this pile of debris. Basically, what she has made me do is dig up these bits and bobs from her cult. We're working towards this ritual she wants to complete, and to do that we need the artifacts. I can't really feel the aura, by the way, so just dig around here. Yeah? Under this big rock? If you would. If my suspicions are correct, this will be the most important piece. Hehe. Let's just get this out of the way first. I'm a vampire. I'm supposed to be strong. This kind of thing is no problem. Molly? Molly. I got this. I'm so heckin' hungry. You should try, you should transform and try digging it out around here. Then you can pull it out, I think. There's no dignity in being a mole vampire. Alright, come on, Molly. Wait, hold on, I think I got the thing. I'm just coughing in your ear, don't mind me. This has got like quite a lot of animation. Molly is hilarious. Tenny is hilarious too. Actually, conceptually, I was a bit like, at the start, I was a bit like, oh, mole vampire, I'm not kind of sure. Like, I feel like if that's the joke, it's going to be a long game. But this pairing of these two characters is brilliant. Molly, I knew you could do it. Thanks so much, dear. You're an absolute wonderful acolyte, and when I bring forth the final Armageddon, I'll kill you last. Hehehe, yeah, it was nothing. I really suck at being a vampire. So what is this? Cricket bat? A knife or something? Yes. Stop swinging it around like that, you're going to cut yourself. It is perhaps one of the most important artifacts, the Umbrel Blade, used to cut through the Abyssal Maiden seal. Oh. Wait, really? So we can do the thing now? That's a bit more to prepare for, but this is what I was hoping we'd find. We'll be ready for the ritual soon. Your role isn't complicated, so if you could, just for the time being, just keep being helpful. Oh no, they're not going to sacrifice her, are they? I really truly appreciate you. Oh, really? I like helping you. I'll do anything you need, you know. The Abyssal Maiden, does she know we're trying to free her? I know she's like a, Chthonic god? Or something? Cthulhic, maybe? The Abyssal Maiden is the Dark's champion. The first and oldest of all life. She is our savior and... Oh yeah, she gets like this. I've heard this lecture maybe a dozen times, ha 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 ha. I just feel like this mole vampire is going to ruin it for the rest of us by releasing the ultimate evil upon the land. She gets really passionate about it, though, so I don't like to interrupt her. In simple terms, the cult here believes that the god at the bottom of this cave will usher in an age of darkness, bringing back some harmonious state of nature or something. All life comes from the dark at the bottom of the sea and wishes to return to it. Oh, I've heard that before somewhere. Avatar 2. It's from Avatar 2. All life comes from the sea and wishes to return to it. Who came up with it first? The Mole Vampire game or James Cameron? If I Google this, am I going to get it's like something Hitler said in the 30s? It's pretty nice. It's a pretty niche faith. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. There's some wild stuff on these tablets. And while she is the servant of the dark, all life is her kin, and she wishes to be reunited with it. A shepherd seeking to return her flock to their traditional pastures. Her love is strong and unyielding, mirroring the love of the... Regardless of how accurate the scripture is, there is a lot that makes sense, I guess. When I was a human, I didn't really buy into the whole serve the light with your whole heart thing that I was raised to follow. Society feels like a sledgehammer meant to pound any bent nails into place. Okay, this is great. So, I really love... What I'm trying to do with this season of Queer Games Heck Yeah is not just like play the games and enjoy them and like comment on the art or the characters or the animation or the writing or whatever. I kind of want to understand why the games are made, Because I sometimes think with queer games, there's a bit more under the hood happening under the hood, which is what's interesting about them. And yeah, and I play quite a lot of queer games that have like supernatural themes, and part of me thinks that the people that make it were probably raised religious, and the game is a little bit about them critiquing the religion they grew up with, or trying to reconcile what they were taught with what they've seen with their own eyes, kind of thing. Not in a negative way, like not in an anti-religion way or anything, but just kind of like just exploring faith and what it means to them. And I'm just in this moment, I've got the vaguest stirrings of it before, but in this bit here, I'm like, where they explicitly say, I was raised a certain way, but now as an adult, I'm like looking down this different path. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm here for. Society feels like a sledgehammer meant to pound any bent nails into place. As frustrating as my undeath has been, well, let's just say a lot of things have clicked into place. Yes. Oh, Molly, she's truly beautiful. Darkness made flesh, the pinnacle of life. I can't wait for you to meet her. Ah, truly I've longed for this. She has been separated from the rest of the world for eons, deep in slumber, preparing for her role just as I have, just as you are as well. Molly, this is the most important thing you will ever take part in. Nothing compares. Your service to the maiden will allow her to change the world. I actually think this is really great writing, because it's like Tenor is like a true believer, and that's coming across, but also they're maintaining that sort of, you feel like she's 10,000 years old, but also, anyway, it's good. I get how big a deal it is, don't worry. Oh, Molly, you're so precious and dear to me. I don't know what I'd do without you, and your virgin blood. This is a tale of the mother, Earth, and her two daughters, Sea and Sky. In the beginning, the light's gaze touched all of creation. There was nowhere to hide from it. The great mother, Earth, was born under its all-seeing eye. The light knew the earth and her secrets. It resented having to share the heavens with inferior beings, but was otherwise content in its dominion over all creation. Within her heart, the earth was lonely. The heavens were filled with her kin, but they were far from her, and the light was everywhere. On one side, the sun beat down, hot and relentless. On the other, the stars peered from every direction. She dreamt of a peaceful beauty that could not exist. That beauty was darkness, and she longed to bring it into creation. She tried, in her deepest places, to birth it. The light, ever jealous, denied her dream. Darkness was existence without light. Darkness was existence without light, and it could never abide this. At every turn it foiled her, reaching deep, and smothering whatever darkness it could touch. The mother was furious. Her surface boiled and quaked, and her shouts coated her surface with thick clouds of ash and gas. Her first daughter, Sky, was born from this fury. The mother was sorrowful. She wailed and wept, and water collected in rivers and basins, filling her deep places. Her second daughter, Sea, was born from this sorrow. The daughters embraced their mother, feeling their anger and grief as if it were their own. They too sought to bring darkness into this world, to comfort their beloved mother. Ooh, it's the moon, the earth moon. Recognize it anyway. In the deepest, darkest part of the cave, there is a large pool. Light has never made its way down this far, not once in all the years since the earth was born. Darkness flows, thick as a river stuck in time. It is tugged towards the heart of the earth. It pools in the deepest parts of the world, creeping past the stalactites and stalagmites, trickling along every inch of the cavern's surface, down and down, deeper and deeper. I flow with it. This is a sacred place. Here I feel connected to my mother. I was in Perth a few months ago with two friends, and we went out down to Margaret River and I want to say Albany, not quite as far as Albany. We kind of went east, and we went to this cave, and we were like a little bit late because we didn't know they'd opened yet. So we were standing around outside, and we go in and we go, "Oh, can we get on the cave tour?" And the person behind the counter goes, "Oh, you're like 10 minutes late for the start time. But if you're willing to just go down by yourselves, I could take you down there right now." And there was like this other tour group of like 30 school kids just waiting for the next thing in like 40 minutes or whatever. And so we looked at each other and we're like, yes, of course. And so we got to go down to this underground cave and just have it all to ourselves for like 40 minutes. It was amazing. Something weird about being in a cave underground that's like hundreds of thousands of years old. You're sort of like, what does it all mean? This is where I feel most complete. In the walls of the cavern, the earth's heart beats slowly. It is so slow and quiet, I can hardly sense it, but as I sink deeper, my entire being resonates with it. Like, could you live underground? I guess. That's my question. Like, if they give you food and water and everything. Like, do you need sunlight? Like, do you need to be on the surface? Once this cavern was linked to the sea. As my memory stretches back, they lose their shape. I cannot remember this time, but I can taste it in the rocks, in the water. I can feel the traces of primordial darkness burn deeply into the stone. Is the tomb, perhaps, but a cradle as well? Yes, that's true. You're down there. You can feel the weight, or can you feel the weight? Like, are you just in a room when you're in a cave, or are you in like something that's not a room? I can't quite figure it out myself. Is a bit tomb-like, but then what is a tomb? Like, if you're alive, it can't be a tomb. And you're kind of safe down there, so it's like a cradle, but then also it's not a cradle. I was born from this well. This is the true dark that I've ached for, an ache that stretches back further than I can recall. That alone would be enough to make me love this place, but there's something else here too. In the pool is life. The animals are all alike in some ways. Every single one is eyeless, having no light to see, and their skin, if somehow light were to reach this far, is ghostly pale. A small ecosystem exists in this pocket world. A small trickle exists in this pocket world, sustains Oh, what? Oh, I double read that. Okay, I can tell my mind is... That's the moment where I'm like, oh, my attention has wandered a little bit. Because I feel like I can comfortably do about half an hour of these games, just to give us a brief kind of look at the game. And I think it didn't help that like I was kind of getting invested in Molly's story, and then we've just done this like hard cut to a totally different story. Yes, guano. They fascinate me, just like the rest of the cave's creatures. But more than these noisy bats that take off when the sun sets, more than the nervous crickets that leap away at the slightest disturbance, I love these creatures in the pool. They exist in complete darkness and are perfectly adapted for it. In this space, I am free to expand. The boundaries I must maintain to the surface begin to dissolve, and I fill all corners of this cavern. Ooh, it's a bit of an essay, isn't it? I have to say there hasn't been much interactivity in this game. Most beloved, though, is the dweller at the bottom of this abyssal well. Is it a mole? She is beautiful, truly beautiful, beyond any description I can give her. I will do anything and everything I can to free her. Darkness, yeah. Ooh. Like I said before, it's really hard to find humans to feed on as a mole vampire. Alright, let's save it there. Okay, that was quite epic. Like, that felt like a genuinely epic game that we were just getting started in. So, and why did it feel that way? I guess because it was like a vampire tale, which is already, vampire, just by nature of being a vampire tale, it already brings in a lot of structure about, like, you've got to go on the hunt, there's probably humans that want to be turned, your relationship with the person that turned you, that sort of thing. So that's already like quite a lot of like plot right there. But then we've also got this eternal darkness being awakened thing happening. So I can't really speak to how long the game goes for. Maybe it's just another 5 minutes long. In fact, that may have been the end, even, for all we know. We were like 10 seconds away from the end, but I do feel like you could go a lot. You could run pretty far with this concept. And I do love the two characters, so I would love to kind of see them in another game almost. That's right, franchise Wormgrubber. I want an animated series, I want a movie, I want comic books. Yeah, if you enjoyed that and you want to see how it goes, you can download and play it right now, um, or you can get it as part of the Queer Games bundle. But on that, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.